am noticing that I'm utilizing my lived experience quite often. When I was pregnant and not having support, it just felt very vulnerable for me. And being able to offer them a safe space and they're able to trust and be able to say things that they probably wouldn't say. You can see their desire to want to stay sober and to be a mother and to have their family and to create this journey of sobriety. It's pretty amazing.
I use my lived experience every single day with working with all the populations that we serve. And I work with women who have the exact same history as me every single day. I use the strength that I have found within my recovery to help give them guidance and navigate them through the difficulties that they will oftentimes face during the first year of recovery. And I find healthy ways to promote maternal recovery.
Thinking of my past and how unsupported I was, to be available for someone that doesn't have anyone. That's where the passion was created for me to provide support for people that don't have it.
With my experiences within systematic challenges, it led me to want to help other women that were facing similar difficulties like myself. And I was offered an opportunity to do that within the PPW program. It's extremely rewarding and difficult job. However, my lived experience allows me to be the best person for the job.
I was called over to Women's Detox to speak to a pregnant client that was leaving the agency ASA, which means against staff advice. I went over, I sat down, and we began to talk to each other. And I was able to give her some of my lived experience as far as understanding how she felt and where she was at emotionally. She was being called outside. She was leaving to go use. She didn't have any defense against leaving treatment and going to use drugs. We talked, we cried together. The connection that we felt talking to each other, giving experiences between each other, there was a connection there. And at that point, I knew that I wanted to work with this population.
I did have support from a previous doula that knew how to check the boxes to make sure all my trainings were completed, my readings. If I didn't have that mentor, that support from someone that had previously went through it, I probably would have been very unaware. And
I was not trained how to work with people who have substance use disorder as a doula. So I had to combine my substance use training and my doula support training and come up with this holistic way to provide doula services for families that have substance use disorder.
It was more generalized, being a doula for any woman.
In order for the peer doula services to be sustainable, we need more increased funding. We need to have more programs that offer training. I initially had a very difficult time connecting with the caseworkers and the court system because the peer doula role was not very familiar. Doing the outreach and speaking to people and continuing to show up for my clients, I have a really great team of people who continue to advocate. We participate in child visits, we show up to court hearings, we participate in child and family team meetings, we write progress letters, and we continue to support the reunification process and goal for our families. Now, if clients have an intact case and they have their babies with them, intact teams are a lot easier to work with because we kind of already know what to expect. A lot of times when you have a child that has an open, active DCFS case and is in the foster care system, it comes with a lot of other layers of challenges where we have to deal with foster parents, possibility of DCFS caseworkers changing often, delayed court hearings. Not everybody is always on the same page, and there is a really big lack of communication. Things get missed along the line and are not accurately being reported in court to the judge, and that's where we step in as peer doulas to really convey the exact nature of how these clients are working their recovery, participating, services completed, advocating for more time with their children. Mom needs to be with her baby, but this baby needs to be with their mom. It is first 3 years of life. It is just so pertinent for mom and baby to have as much time together as possible.
Able to empower the client too. They are sometimes very scared, or they don't know what to say or how much information to actually give them because they feel like they're just going to be stigmatized. It's not all like that. You know, there are some really good workers out here that really want the families to stay together. Having that connection with DCFS, the client, and other supportive services around for this client is important for everybody to be on board, because there's going to be a plan for this client to succeed, and we all want to be a part of that.
And I think that it would be better served if there was a lot more training for people just coming in and learning how to do this work, so they can be trained properly and not have to go through 2 different programs to be able to service the clients accurately.
A lot of hospitals are very unaware of the doula role. Familiarizing the whole team with what doulas are. One more thing would be community center, not non-clinical, you know, outside of that aspect, where it creates a more safe space for the mothers to have support, and it's not like a doctor's office. I want to be able to provide quality care, and I don't want to necessarily worry about my finances behind it. Funded grant programs that would help other women to be able to be in this role. You know, it costs money to even become a doula, to complete all the application fees and all these certification fees. If you were just out of pocket, it's quite expensive. You know, so more grant programs that would help doulas become amazing women and men, you know, whatever a doula wants to be.
Peer doulas are the way of the world.